Did you know that your subconscious beliefs could be the reason why you're always short on money? Some people run out of money all the time, no matter how much they earn, and that tells me there's more than bad luck to it. Your subconscious beliefs create a glass ceiling that invisibly sets limits to what is possible for you to achieve, and they act as a blueprint that determines all your behavior. So if you don't reprogram your beliefs around money, you might continue being stuck in financial problems the rest of your life. I get it. You might be thinking, what do my subconscious beliefs have to do with my money situation? Isn't earning money and being financially free or having financial success, doesn't that just mean that we have to do the work and maybe be lucky? Well, there is more to it than just doing the work and acting on the things that will give you money and help you keep money. Because your subconscious beliefs, they determine everything. They create patterns, they create a glass ceiling, and you will never rise past the glass ceiling. You never rise above your glass ceiling. The problem with all our beliefs in our subconscious mind is that, well, they are subconscious. We're not really aware of them. But we can become aware of them and we can change them. And when we change those beliefs, we change our results without having to work harder, without having to act more and do more and do more and do more. Just by creating a change in our subconscious mind, we will change how our reality is, what we do, how we feel, and what we achieve. Your mind has one main priority, and that is keeping you safe. Well, your mind doesn't always know what is dangerous and what is safe. It only knows that it needs to move you away from danger and towards safety. To make life easier, your mind has created two categories: the danger category and the safe category. Well, your mind doesn't always know what is dangerous, what is safe, and where do I go in order to be safe. So to just be on the safe side, your mind puts everything new into the dangerous category. And everything old and familiar, meaning your old habits, your subconscious beliefs, because they've been there all your life, right? All of that goes into the safe category. So, what does your mind do? Your mind does everything it can in its power to keep you in the safe category, on the safe side, where you find all the old patterns, all your subconscious beliefs, everything that's familiar, everything you have done before. Whenever you're trying to think something new, feel something new, and do something new, your mind will go, ooh, that is uncomfortable because it might be dangerous. I don't know if it is dangerous, but it's new and I don't have time to figure everything out. So I'll just create stress around this new thing and move you towards safety, which is your unconscious patterns, your old beliefs, and all that old stuff which is familiar to you. So all your old beliefs around money, the ones that are stored in your subconscious mind, they fall into the safe category. And your mind loves safety. It's going to do everything to keep you there. So what does your mind do all the time, every second of your waking hour, and probably during the night as well? Your mind will recreate those old patterns in your subconscious mind. Your mind will push you towards doing the same thing, feeling the same way, thinking the same thought. And every pattern you have in your subconscious mind is what your mind will use as a blueprint every single day in order to create your life. And yes, it's unconscious, it's invisible, you don't know why it's there. And this is the reason why so many people are putting in so much work and not seeing results. So if that is you, listen closely. I was working with a client who is a business owner, a CEO, 50 years old, and has had such great success in business and in life, earning a lot of money, closing a lot of great deals. The thing is, although he was earning a lot of money, money kept slipping away. He always found himself on empty in a stressful situation where he didn't know whether he would be able to manage to pay the bills the next day or the next month. This was true both for his business and for his personal life, his personal economy. When I see patterns like that repeating themselves again and again and again for 50 years, I know there's a subconscious belief behind this. So I sat down with this client and we did some deep work going into all the subconscious beliefs. Now, what we did is we started with the belief or the limiting decision that there will never be enough money, that money always disappears and runs out. And this was a belief that was running in his mind and was creating his life every single day. It was creating his reality, both at home and at work. There was never enough money and money would always run out. And even though he earned well and his business did well, he always found himself back there where there was no more money left. And when I work with clients, we always go back in time to see what was the event that caused the mind to interpret the world in that way. What happened that made the mind learn that this was the safe way to live, that this was the way things should be done. A little note here, I normally don't share the work I do with my clients because I'm bound by confidentiality. But this particular client, he said, you know what? This is so mind-blowing. The world needs to know about it. So please, please, please share it. Here we are. Now, listen closely if you also want to understand how your old beliefs are shaping your financial reality. This particular client had a childhood full of neglect. He didn't get the love he needed. He was neglected. His needs were always pushed behind his mother's needs. So his mother was mentally ill and his father was an alcoholic and moved out when he was 5 years old. And if you're familiar with the ACEs study, he scored 7 out of 10 ACEs, meaning there were some issues during his childhood. So his mother was normally really stressed out, really worried, really angry, put her own needs first. She always put his needs last, and his needs were neglected. So during his childhood years, his reality was a reality of stress, of uncertainty, of things being hard, of things being uncomfortable, of yelling and fighting and all that stuff. His mother didn't work, but she got money once in a while from her parents. What happened every single time she got money from her parents? She turned into a loving, caring, happy person. And she would take him out to go and eat food and buy new stuff. Some additional information here. They normally don't have that much food at home. They would have some bread, some cheese, but not really a lot of nutritious food. So he found himself hungry a lot of the time. Not much love, not much attention, not even enough food. I think you can start to see the picture here. And although this is the story of a childhood that wasn't that happy, it doesn't have to be the case. You know, you can have the happiest of all childhoods and your brain will still interpret the world the way the brain wants to interpret the world. And whatever you're presented with as a kid will become your truth. I'm going to get back to that afterwards. Let me finish the story about my client. So whenever she got money, she would take him out to eat. He got connection, love, happiness. His mother was happy. It was good times. And he got food, which is so important for survival. I mean, all of those are important for survival. Imagine a little child. A child is not able to survive on its own in this world. A child is depending on its parents. So if a parent gives the child love, attention, connection, the child will feel safe. The child's mind will interpret the world as safe, because if my parents love me, if they show me that I'm valuable, they take care of me, that means that I will maintain my connection to them, that I do belong to them, that they will take care of my needs, and the mind can relax and the mind interprets the world as safe. If a child doesn't get love and attention, if a child is neglected, if a child's needs is neglected, or if a child's emotions, feelings, thoughts are not validated, the child's mind can easily start to interpret it as I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not valuable, etc., etc., which will make the world unsafe for that child. At least that's the way the mind interprets it. So a child, of course, needs food for survival, and it needs love, connection, being valuable. So obviously, every time the mother got money, she took him out and bought food, bought things, and they had a great time. And then the money ran out, because that's what always happened. So this created a pattern in him that said that money will always run out. It will always run out. And it created a pattern saying when we have money, we need to spend it, because that was what was happening again and again and again during his childhood. In addition to that, so all subconscious beliefs, they can have several layers. In addition to this, you have the layer where his mind interpreted having money as important for survival and spending money important for survival, because it was when his mother had money that she turned into the loving, caring, funny, happy person that he was wishing for. And that's when he got food as well. So his mind learned to interpret and connect spending money with survival. Are you getting this? And this is super important. His mind learned to connect spending money with survival, because love and connection, happiness, all those things are important for survival for a child. And food, of course, also important for survival. So his mind learned spending money is important for survival. And when I took him back and he saw this with new objective eyes and had 100% clarity on what had happened when he was a little child, he could even see himself sitting there as a little boy under 1 year old, sitting on the floor, watching his mother when she was stressed out and angry and in the state she was normally in. And he could see all of that and remember all of that, and just became so clear to him. He saw the whole matrix. He was just like, oh my God, I see everything so clearly now. I understand everything. I have been hunting those feelings, those emotions of connection, feeling love, being happy, safety, security. I've been chasing them all my life through spending money. And there you have it. So there are several layers to this story. There are several layers to these old subconscious beliefs, and they're all rooted in the same thing. Money was important for survival. Spending money was important for survival. Important for survival because they would give all those emotions, and because that was what was safe. It was known, it was familiar, and the subconscious mind wants you to repeat what is familiar because that is being on the safe side. So no matter how much he worked, how much money he earned, he was always spending the money and he always ran out. Well, not anymore. After we did this session and reprogrammed his old beliefs, he's now back on track, earning money and earning even more money and keeping it. So is this always connected to a childhood of neglect? Not at all. I had the most happy, safe, fantastic upbringing. My parents are fantastic. I love them dearly. They've done so much great for me. And there's this one little thing. I grew up with my parents talking about people with money as immoral people, as bad people. This was the belief that we were served at home, that people who had a lot of money, they were bad people. And do you want to know another thing about your subconscious mind? Your subconscious mind is the highest moral being. It does everything it can to make sure that you live up to the high moral standards that it has set. And where do these moral standards come from? Well, they are the moral standards that your subconscious mind accepted when you were a child. When you're a child, you either accept the ideas, the beliefs, the patterns that are presented to you, or you reject them. So in some cases, a child might reject something and do the complete opposite of its parents. Most times they accept it and take whatever is being given to them in terms of thoughts and beliefs and patterns, accept it and make it their own. So whatever you're told is immoral or moral, when you're a child, you will most likely accept it and make it your own. Or you might reject it if it's really far off. So what happened to my mind when it was presented by my loving, caring, fantastic parents, presented with the idea that people with money are bad people? You know what happened? I created a belief that was the same. People with money are bad people. And then I'll ask you this question. So I've been an entrepreneur for so many years, working hard to make ends meet and make money. But do you think that if my subconscious belief is that a person with a lot of money is a bad person, do you really think that my subconscious mind would allow me to become a bad person? Not at all. So when I finally became aware of this, it was just like, so mind-blowing, so eye-opening. I finally saw the patterns and I understood what was behind all the work I did and the lack of success and how I could change it. You know, some subconscious patterns are deeply rooted and are stored with so much intensity that we need help in changing them and getting rid of them. And other ones, not so much. So what you can do now is to just close your eyes or go for a walk or have a shower or whatever. Go into a state where you can reflect and go into yourself and think about what are your beliefs around money and see what comes up. You might not get the answer right here and now. It might take a few days. Ask yourself again and again, and whatever you ask your subconscious mind, it needs to answer. It needs to find the answer. It might not come right there and then. It will come, trust me. So ask your subconscious mind, what are my beliefs around money? And you probably know. When you think about it, it'll probably be quite clear. And then ask your subconscious mind, where do I have these beliefs from? Who and what gave me those beliefs? And when you see the connection, when you understand it, you can make a decision. Those were never my beliefs. I adopted them from my father or my teacher or my uncle, whatever. You can make a choice if you want to keep them or let them go. So unless they are stored with a lot of intensity, you should be able to release them and let them go. The first step is always awareness, then understanding where it comes from, and then making a choice. Do you want to continue thinking like that? Or do you want to let go of it, release it, and send it back to whomever gave it to you? It's a choice. And when you choose, you'll get the result that you want. And then decide what you want your belief around money to be. And then there are a lot of exercises we can do in order to really program those beliefs into your mind. And it really comes down to you starting to think and feel and act like that person. How you do that? Well, that's another story. I'll save it for another video. Now, if you thought this was interesting, how your subconscious mind works, I'm pretty sure that you'll like this one too.